Even Stevens launched Shia LaBeouf into reluctant superstardom, but fans of the Disney Channel series still wax poetic about Bernard Beans Aaron Gurin, the Stevens' pesky, bacon-obsessed neighbor played by Stephen Anthony Lawrence. Here's what Beans from Even Stevens looks like today. Stephen Anthony Lawrence was around 11 years old when his character debuted in Season 2 of Even Stevens, and his bold audition was what landed him the TV role, but it did more than that. The young actor actually changed the script before he even landed the part, already cementing himself in Disney history even if he never made it all the way to the small screen.
Thanks. I've got skills.
In a 2015 interview with HuffPost, Lawrence revealed that he used to tell jokes during his auditions as a, quote, shtick that would help him stand out in a crowd. During his Even Stevens audition, he told a joke about a pirate. When he got a second callback, he saw that his joke had been written into the script, as he recalled. But it wasn't even a sure thing yet, so I'm going, oh my god, if I don't book this, it's my joke. I'm gonna be pissed, man. Of course, Lawrence did get the part, and thus, one of the most iconic Disney Channel sidekicks in early aughts history was born. Stephen Anthony Lawrence isn't like other Disney Channel stars who have managed to amass multi-million-dollar fortunes, because Even Stevens never made him all that rich. In fact, the actor struggled financially while filming the series. During his interview with HuffPost, Lawrence revealed that he was still living in Fresno, California while shooting the series about 218 miles away in Los Angeles. Lawrence and his father ended up putting a lot of miles on their car, making the 3.5-hour commute, and spent a lot of money on hotels. As he explained, I was living in a motel room 5 days a week, and I had to be back home during the weekend. My dad would, God bless his heart, drive me back and forth, giving up his life to help me. So obviously that isn't exactly cheap. As a result, Lawrence couldn't really afford the trappings of traditional child stardom. Still, his co-star Shia LaBeouf had his back. Lawrence told HuffPost that his co-star, quote, took it upon himself to buy him an original Xbox one year when money was too tight for him to buy one himself. Today, Lawrence is worth an estimated $1 million. All good things must come to an end, and thus the Disney Channel closed the book on Even Stevens in 2003, after 65 episodes spanning 3 seasons and a feature-length film. When Shia LaBeouf said Disney, quote, wasn't trying to pay the demanding salaries of the returning cast, it seemed like the truth, at least for all the stars who weren't Beans. The same year Even Stevens ended, LaBeouf proved himself as a serious actor in Holes and never looked back. Still, that doesn't mean everyone was as happy to leave. Speaking with HuffPost, Lawrence revealed that the cast had grown so close over the course of 3 years that they spent their final day on set fighting off tears. As he put it was like a family. You see the same people 12 hours a day, 5 days a week for years. You're gonna get a little close to people, It was really, really sad when the show ended. And with that, an era was over. Lawrence was barely old enough to be in high school, and he was already an unemployed actor. If there's one thing Beans loved, it was bacon, and Stephen Anthony Lawrence certainly ate enough of it through the course of filming to feel utterly sick. The star isn't even sure how bacon became such a thing for his character. In an interview with HuffPost, he admitted that it was seemingly haphazardly written into the story during his first week of filming. Lawrence ate so much bacon during his years on set that he needed to quit the fat-laden breakfast treat for 2 years after filming. He just couldn't handle one more bite. Even today, the actor prefers Mexican food, though he does still enjoy some bacon now and then. Even Stevens was undeniably Stephen Anthony Lawrence's most notable project beyond a small role in 2001's Bubble Boy. When the series ended, the Disney star more or less faded from the public eye, but he never actually left the industry. Off the heels of his House of Mouse fame, Lawrence landed a role in 2003's Cheaper by the Dozen, where he appeared alongside fellow former Disney Channel star Hilary Duff and comedy icon Steve Martin. That same year, he starred in the film adaptation of Dr. Seuss's The Cat in the Hat, alongside heavyweights like Mike Myers and Dakota Fanning. 2 years later, he nabbed a part in Will Ferrell's Kicking and Screaming and Martin Lawrence's Rebound, which ended up being the actor's last major project. Since 2005, the artist formerly known as Beans has mostly picked up minor roles. including cameos in Weeds, Eagleheart, and the Bratz movie. According to HuffPost, he's also done a lot of commercials and some music videos, including for the band Dear Blanca and for former Disney star Vanessa Hudgens. Beyond Stephen Anthony Lawrence's acting work, the former child star's most rewarding role is as a teacher. According to HuffPost, Lawrence has been teaching acting classes since at least 2014, charging $40 a week. It's a small price to pay for the chance to learn from a certified Disney Channel star. As he described it, "Oh God, I love it. The kids are great. It's almost like working the stage. It's instant gratification when something clicks for a student. It's mostly technique of acting and kind of the business of the business." Here's the question everyone was wondering about. Is Stephen Anthony Lawrence still friends with Shia LaBeouf? In spite of all the fame and controversy, it's hard to say. What we do know is that Lawrence is still incredibly close with his former castmates. After all, they sort of grew up together. In the actor's 2015 HuffPost interview, he revealed that he keeps in touch with most of his Even Stevens family and supports their current projects. Beyond that, the cast reunited in June 2020, with the exception of LaBeouf, for a Zoom reunion. Though you might not see him in many movies or TV anymore, Stephen Anthony Lawrence did go viral in 2015 when he was publicly outed as a mall Santa. Okay, technically he never donned a Santa suit, but he was one of Santa's helpers. That's a big job in a suburban mall. According to SFGate, the actor picked up a temporary job at the seasonal Santa photo booth at Sun Valley Shopping Center in Concord, California. The newspaper speculated that Lawrence was method acting for a holiday film titled Holly, Jingles, and Clyde, which ended up never actually being released. Who knows what happened? Maybe he got put on the naughty list. Either way, Lawrence flaunted his side gig loud and proud, posting about it on Instagram after his fans figured out what was going on. Not all former child stars are easily identifiable as adults, but there's no doubt that Beans from Even Stevens has a recognizable face. That's part of what made Stephen Anthony Lawrence's character so widely beloved. But it's been 20 years. The actor looks almost nothing like he did when he was 11.
There's nothing special.
So how the heck is everyone still recognizing him? In his HuffPost interview, Lawrence admitted that he thinks it's, quote, really weird that he regularly gets recognized in the street or at his day job, so long after his Disney Channel fame. At the time of this video, he's rocking a beard, which theoretically should make recognition even harder. It's basically incognito mode for your face. But to be totally frank, it also seems like the type of costume idea that would have worked for Lewis or Beans during some of their regular Even Stevens shenanigans. Maybe that's why fans have it figured out. Either way, Lawrence isn't fighting his past. As he told HuffPost, "I feel like I've changed so much when I look in the mirror. I don't know how people even barely recognize me, but I'll be walking down the street and people drive by for 2 seconds and automatically they'll go, 'Oh my God, you're Beans, ah!' God, even I would have to at least do a double take." Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite Disney stars are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.